Hey, it's Jason from Pro Guitar Studio. Today we're going to do some more Rocksteady, and what I have here is a really cool way to use arpeggios. Now, if you've never done arpeggios before, this might be a bit of a jump, but really fun to play either way. So just to give some background here on arpeggios. So an arpeggio is basically the notes in a chord played one at a time. So instead of playing, like if we're playing a chord, for example, instead of strumming it, we can just go like that, right? Now, when we're playing lead guitar, we don't want to play a chord shape. We don't want to do this really. You can, but we typically want to separate the notes. So an arpeggio would take a scale, like the major scale, and separate that into an arpeggio. So if we're doing like a G or an A minor, like a three-note chord, otherwise known as a triad, we're going to play the root, skip the second, the third, skip the fourth, and then play the fifth. And then basically the next two notes, the 6 and 7, we're not going to play. And we go right back to the root, third, fifth, and the next octave. And then the root on top. So for the 6-string root here, for example, I have the root, third, fifth, root, third, fifth, root. So this is G, B, D, G, B, D, G. And that's our G major chord played separately. Okay? So basically with that, we have a way to outline our chord. If someone's playing the G chord, we can play within those notes, and we know exactly which notes sound good and which notes sound bad, right? So that's the important part with arpeggios, is that you sort of know what notes will sound good over a particular chord. And as you get more intuitive with this, it's easy to throw these into your phrases. Instead of just running a scale up and down and trying to guess which note you're going to land on, you'll sort of have an idea of exactly which note will sound good, right? So in that arpeggio, though, as we're playing it, we can play it straight up and down like that, but it sort of gets boring, right? But a cool way to play with this is to make patterns within the arpeggio. And this week I was working with my students on a way to do this where we basically skip notes in that arpeggio. So you know when we're playing the scale and we're skipping notes to build an arpeggio itself, right? So instead of we're doing in the arpeggio, we can do the same concept. We skip notes to make it sound a little wider. So I go first note of the arpeggio, skip the second note, third note of the arpeggio, skip the next note, do the fifth note of the arpeggio, skip the next note, seventh note of the arpeggio, and then we can go higher for good measure, which is on fret number 10. So what I'm playing here is I'm playing G, which is a root, D, which is a fifth, B, which is the third, G, which is the root, D is the fifth, okay? So I'm playing this. And so for this exercise here, I just made it really nice, and it's not easy, but I made it easier by making it, instead of like nice and like connected, I made it staccato, just to make it easier to jump to the next note. Go to the high note and come back down. It definitely takes some practice. So as you're first doing this, the jump up and back down, it's going to really throw you for a loop. So keep in mind, as you keep practicing, it will get easier. So it might take you a few days to go through this slowly at your own pace, not spending all your time on it. Get that? Okay, so my title for this is note skipping arpeggios. So we're skipping notes in that arpeggio. And you could do this with any arpeggio that you wanted. You could do it with a 7th arpeggio, so you could do like root, 5th, and instead of playing the 7, go back to the root. It doesn't make it as interesting though. So I would say the triad way to do this is pretty cool. Now, when we go to the minor chord, the next chord I do in there is B minor. So the first chord was G. B minor is the next one. I'm going to play the B note. All right, we're going to play the F sharp, which is fret number 9 on the 5th string. So I'm playing 7, 9. Then I'm playing the 7th fret string number 3, 7th fret string number 1, and 14th fret string number 1. So I have B, F sharp, D, B, F sharp. And I'm doing a finger roll for this. So arch finger, flat finger, so rolling down. All right, so again back here we go 3 on string number 6, 5 on string 5, 4 on string number 3, 3 on string number 1, 10 on string number 1, and then back down. All right, and then 7, 9, 7, 7, 14. So that's our major arpeggio, triad arpeggio, and minor. And then just for good measure, to give you some more practice with this, I move it down 2 frets to the A minor. So we're going to practice the A minor arpeggio like this. So we have the root, so A, E, C, A, E. There we go. Which is 5 on the 6th string, 7 on the 5th string, 5 on the 3rd string, 5 on the 1st string, 12 on the 1st string. So that big jump, right? That's a lot of fun there. And then we're gonna go up to a D. So I do the A minor and then go into D. So D, A, F sharp, D, A. So 10 on string 6, 12 on string number 5, 11 on string number 3, 10 on string 1, 17 on string 1. So even this pattern, like for me, it took a bit of practice to get that comfortable in terms of doing the jump and memorizing that jump, getting the muscle memory there. So usually like the first day as you go through this applies to everything you're gonna work on. You can try to work on things and get it comfortable, but when you come back the next day, the muscle memory will kick in a little bit, and each subsequent day will be a little easier. So even if you can do it on the first day, as you go through and sort of your brain works this stuff out, it gets easier because that muscle memory is there, and it's easier to do the jump. So I definitely find that even for this. Letting your brain rest a day and coming back to it definitely helps a lot, okay? So have fun with this, some string skipping or note skipping arpeggios, I should say. I think this is a really cool thing to play with. If you like rocksteady, reggae, ska, this is a lot of fun too. And there's a lot of songs that you might recognize this sort of sound. Not that we're going that far up in it, but the sort of, you hear like classical pieces do that, but also in that same genres I was talking about. But you can apply this to anything you want. So let me know if there's a way you can apply this, if there's a way that you like to use this. Let me know in the comments below. If you like videos like this, I do these each week, so subscribe for more videos, and I will see you soon.